Today we're driving into a 2018 Hyundai Santa Fe with a 3.3 liter GDI engine, a setup shared across many Hyundai and Kia models. The customer called me out for a check engine light and a rough idle. Using my Autel Maxi IM608 Pro 2, I confirmed the issue pointed straight to the fuel injectors. In this video, you'll see the full diagnostic process, where I tear everything down all the way to replacing all 6 injectors and putting everything back together with OEM specs, torque, and gaskets. This is mobile mechanic work at its core. Real diagnostics, a real repair, and a road tested fix.
What's so crazy is I don't have the code I did for the injector last time. So the torque control was disabled, can't time out. The smart cruise went away. Post catalyst fuel trim system. As you can see, this is what the codes are, and yeah, kind of strange, but active and active. These are the active codes, so just cylinder 4. So really, probably just cylinder 4 is your main issue. So cylinder 6 must have happened and went away again, which is very odd. So I'm gonna start it up. You can hear what it sounds like. So right here, you can see me going through part of the real life diagnostic scenario I have to go to try to figure out what's going on in this situation. Check this out and then stay tuned and watch the entire repair process all the way to the end. You smell that really, really rich gas smell. It smells like gas. It's like dripping gas out of the exhaust. It smells really, really, you smell the gas vapor. It's real strong. Yeah, it's strong again. Yeah, definitely doing it again. That's crazy. You know what? I want to try something though. Let's go in here and enter the system and see if I can't free this injector like I did last time. Okay. We're going to active test this time. We're going to see if we can't kick that injector free like I did last time. So, I believe last time what I had to do was this. I want to verify what I did. So I'm just going to see. We want to. Okay. I think it was. Yeah, right here, cylinder 4, gasoline, direct injector, engine running until stop button. Okay, so engine running. Okay, so start, stop. See if we can free this thing up again. Start, stop. So the continuing time, it says right here, until stop button is pressed. Let's say start. See, nothing's changing because the injector clearly stuck. It seems like. Now, escape for a second. Let's go over here and we'll do cylinder 6 as well. And 6, same thing over here. Try that as well. Start. Yeah, I'm trying to verify it's this injector because last time I had a little bit of an issue with this. Stop. I'm gonna go back real quick. I'm gonna do cylinder. This is a high pressure pump spill valve test. Ignition on, engine off. Okay. Make sure this pump is working. Let's try that guy and make sure. I don't know if this pump, that might have been, I did a few extra things last time. I want to verify I didn't miss something here. So we just here. Could be something to do with that high pressure GDI spill valve.
This is where the real story starts. Lab data doesn't lie, but you've got to know how to read it. Every number on this screen is a clue, and by the end of the diagnostics, we'll know exactly why this 3.3 liter GDI is misfiring. Stick with me. This is the part most mechanics won't show you.
Go back from there, and I'm gonna try start the car up again and see if it's improved at all. Never know. If this fixes it, I think I may have just figured it. See what happened last time when I fixed it. Maybe something else. Maybe that pump. It's right here. Start. Stop. Start. So I got this to free up last time somehow. Really, really strange how this happened. So same 6 again, same thing. And I think last time, actually, maybe what I did was this. Let me go back. I went over here. I think what I did was, All right, so let's see how it is on the test drive. I did this the other day, and it worked fine. I'm feeling any misfires right now. I'll tell you that, not a bit of anything going on. Exact same thing I did the other day, which is crazy to me. This would just start working again like I did the other day as well. I don't think so. Well, it might, you never know. So I guess the pump could be just getting hung up. Let's see if it'll get crazy. I'm just gonna take it back down here, back up and down. I drove this. She drove for 3 days after I did this last time, and she really did. I don't understand how, but she did it. See, man, perfect. Again, I fixed it again temporarily. I don't understand that at all. That does not make any sense. And at the end of the road, we just turn right back around. So what's unbelievable is I think she's got a bad high pressure fuel pump in the front. Must be bad, causing all this to happen, because it makes no sense that, you know, the second I mess with the high pressure fuel pump, everything starts to work again. That's just kind of a crazy deal, right? So you have this vehicle, probably what's happening. Let's just stop and see if we ever have any misfires real quick. Let's see if we smell gas. Let's see. Put it in park. Look, it's smooth as can be. That is crazy. That is really, really crazy. Let's check it out here. No gas. No gas smell like it was. I mean, it's pretty damn going smooth. That is just really, really insane to me how that would just do that. Saddle it up. You hear the smoke coming out like a cloud the other day, but right now, there's no misfire in this vehicle right now.
All right, so with the diagnosis confirmed, the injectors are faulty. Now it's time to dig in, and I'm going to show the step-by-step repair process.
Here we go. Finally was able to get on here and do it. All right, first steps. I didn't lose that already. I might have. I think it's right here. There it is. All right, so we're going to remove the fuel pump fuse, which I already done. Then we're going to crank the vehicle several times, and that'll kill the fuel and the injectors and in the pump area and all that where we're going to be working. What I'm going to do now is just kind of gently place it in here, not back all the way. I don't want it to actually prime every while I'm working, so I'm just going to lay it right here. So y'all can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to lay it back in there like that. You see how? So, you better view what I'm doing. Kind of lay her right there for now. If I lose her, well, I got another one, I'm pretty sure. We just put her here. I don't need her touching. Then we'll lay her down there like that for now. We've already done all this. I've already drained the fluid out of the overfill, and we're in the garage, so a little bit better. Let's get started tearing this thing apart. So, if you're doing this job, you got to make sure. Right there's your fuel pump fuse, by the way. If you're wondering which one it is, it's the one back in the far corner. 15 amp. Get the gas out of here. So these injectors always go bad on these guys. It's kind of a pain, I'll tell you that right now, but that's okay, because today we're going to replace all these injectors. I'll show you what I got here to work with. All right, these are all my notes too. We don't need that now, but we got, I'm not sure how great this brand is. We're about to find out, I'll tell you that. Show what they look like though, kind of what they look like. I hope these are the right ones. We'll find out shortly enough. Should have everything we need on there too, with the compression fittings and all that. I hope we'll find out though. You need to replace the high pressure fuel line. The reason why you need to drain the coolant is because you're gonna get coolant leaking out of here. You don't want it into the system. That'll be very bad. I'm gonna do that. So regardless, where we're at now.
We'll fast track through the intake teardown, every bolt, every connection until we reach the injector system buried beneath. One key thing I wanted to point out before you get going, make sure you do drain your coolant. When you get your coolant out of here, there are coolant passages that go through your intake, and they will cause problems if you get coolant down into your engine. So please don't forget that stuff. Shortcut video is a full diagnostic and repair process, just like you'd experience in a shop. If you like seeing the complete story from scan tool to road, tested fix, stick around. It only gets better from here. All right, so right now I'm moving at 10 times speed to speed this framework along. I'm pulling out this air box right here. A few 10 millimeters, I hold that on to get the air box out your way. Now the reason I'm moving this air box out the way is very important. You can leave the throttle body attached so you can avoid replacing the gasket and dealing with all that mess. Once you get all this done, you see right now I'm trying to look over here to see if anything's holding it on the back, and there's a 14 millimeter bolt that holds that back passenger left side near the firewall to a bracket that you must remove. I have a feeling on some of these models, depending on which one you're working on, whether it's the Kia, or Hyundais, they may have it on both sides. So just be aware of that. Mine just had one 14 millimeter on that back left side. Everything else is pretty much 10 millimeter, and it's pretty easy. You get everything out your way and pull the battery. This way you can simply take up the entire intake manifold off and gently place it, tilt it as you see me do here momentarily, and you place it gently down to the side so you have plenty of access to the injectors. If you can get this done properly, everything is going to be perfectly intact. Saves you a lot of trouble having to disconnect the throttle body and all that good stuff. You can actually avoid all this by just moving it gently to the side. That is my best advice for you there. I'm going to stop this here in a moment and show you where this 10 millimeter bolt's at. So now, one last thing too, there is a few wire harnesses that attach up above it. It makes it very difficult to see the 14 millimeter back there. So if you have any trouble seeing that 14 millimeter, make sure you just remove those wire clip harnesses that hold everything together right there. You just need a pair of pliers or something you can pluck them up out of their homes with, or they're secured to the top passenger or left side of that intake manifold. Because as you can see in a moment, I kind of struggle with it, trying to figure out what's holding it on. And sure enough, there was that surprise 14 millimeter on the rear, next up against the firewall on the very top of the intake manifold. Very important to note. Once you get that off, pretty much easy to rotate it right to the side and you're good to go. Right here, I just have a few more 10 millimeter bolts I'm rocking out, getting the rest of the bolts to the top of the plenum, and the intake manifold is ready to come on off. And that'll give you plenty of access to everything you need to get to. It's not too bad. As you can see right now, I'm actually fighting it, trying to figure out what's hanging on to it. I'm like, something's definitely holding this on. So I can't quite figure it out, but I know it's coming from over that side. So right here I'm just going over everything else from a different angle. Right there. What in the F is going on? See this? You gotta actually slide that upward. Then you gotta push down. If you don't slide it up and push down, you're never getting it off. Well, it comes up like this, like I just did it, and then it pushes down. And that's how you pop this out of there, and that's where it came off of. Unreal. What the heck? It is unreal. So, yeah, I don't know. Same way with this. Let me show you how to do this one. I'll show you exactly how to do it now that I know how to do it, but I mean, probably don't want to take it off. Take this and you finagle this upward. Seen this before, but hard to see because it's dirty, old. But you push upward with it and you kind of slide it up and it'll pop it on out. See what I'm talking about? One hand is. See if I can do it. Gonna pull it up now. But you push down and pull up. Anyway, that's all. That's all done. Yeah, looks like fun to me. But we're making progress, so definitely making progress. All this stuff's unhooked. Got all this unhooked. Technically can unbolt that, but I don't need to. We have this plug off down here undone. There's a bolt on the back of there somewhere, I believe. You see the bolt? We don't need to pull them off quite yet.
Now, this is going to be the high pressure fuel rail right here. It's got to get replaced more than likely. I'm going to try to do this, I'm trying not to remove this, but I don't have to. Should be access all the injectors that are going to be way down in here. So I got to pull this thing up out of here regardless. So all I could have took this off. I like to unplug it. I like to leave all this stuff on. It makes it easier to work with. In my opinion, it does. So now this whole piece has got to come out of here. So we have these bits down here. You all see those? Pull that back. You can see we got one here. We got one down in here. Now I may have to get this guy off. See, does that hold on like that? I can't really tell. I don't know if I can get access to that. Maybe. I have to see how that is in there. But if this is in my way, I can't quite get to it. That's the problem. Either way, I got to get to that. Got to get that off of there. So I get down in there. So let's work on getting this piece off first. These are the bolts I put back. Like I said, it's okay to leave this on here. That can all stay on. You pull it off. Well, I unplugged everything. And we got a bolt here. We're taking the bolts off around here and we'll see where we're at. I've got some diagrams over there to use as well. But like I said, the back, I'm not sure exactly. So I figure out where the bolts are at. Like I said, it's been a little while since I worked on one of these Hyundais. This particular motor, never. I'm not gonna lie. So we got one here. May just be the ones in the front. I doubt it. I doubt it though. It could be. Right here, let's just zip these off. Let's see how many my papers say. So, there we go. There goes one. We'll get him off. Now he's supposed to reuse. Anything with the injector bolts got to be reused. So there goes one. See what we can get off of here. It says take off the daggone throttle body, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. Maybe I don't think we have to take it off. We'll find out here in a moment, though. I think it's all turning this on. I believe so. We're gonna find out though, one way or another. I think that. Oh wow! Didn't drop it. That was pretty crazy, huh? There we go. There's another one. I'll get that one off of here. Hopefully this will come right off of here. It might not. I don't really know yet. We'll have to find out. And there we go. That guy's coming off next. And we'll stick all these back over here. So we don't lose these in there. And off. They're gonna come off too. Getting them off one at a time at the gun. Getting the bottom ones off first. Can't hurt to do that. There we go. That guy's coming on out of there. That's a long one there. Really long one. Still long one. There we go. Here. You can see it's already trying to come off. You see that guy go back? It wants to come off already. There's two nice long guys here. Let's see what we got, baby. Can it come off yet? I don't know. Let's see. Probably not yet. Probably still something holding on. Let's see here. What is that holding on back here? Gotta be something holding on. What the heck is? All right. Something's grabbing that guy. I'm gonna let him go. Let's check the other side over here and see what it is. It's fun to let go, actually, though. That's kind of crazy. It may just come right on off of there. Let's see if it will. Yep, something over here is holding on the left side. I can feel it on the left side, grabbing onto it for dear life. So, gotta be something holding it tight. You see here? Something over here is holding it on real good, actually. Gotta be bolts down here. I can almost see them with my eyeball. How the heck am I supposed to get to those? I have no idea. They up underneath there. That's crazy. Let's see if we can pull up on this guy, gentle. You see here? There's no way to get it off of there, I don't think. It should come off, honestly. I think we're unhooked. Just got to do it gently. There's something, I think, grabbing it, but damn if I can see what it is. I don't understand. Is there like a, it must be like a clip, I guess. Got some wires holding on or something funny. There's not anything major, I can tell you. It's loose already. Very, very, very loose. You go. Something back here holding on to it, I can tell. That's got to come off probably. Is there a bolt going in there? I'm thinking maybe. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's a bolt on the back side of this. That is kind of crazy. Now where does that go down to? Down here somewhere. It hooks around to here. There's another line right here that I've already unhooked all these lines, so these are all free. Now, what is the heck is holding it on? There's another one hooking on the back side. Another one of those clamps is exactly what it is. There's nothing really holding it on, but just a clamp. Another one of those little freak thingies I gotta pop it loose. It's all on the back side of this. You see right here? Right here's another one. I gotta pop over there. It's all. Right there is it. Right there is where it is. See if I can pop her over there. What the heck? What a pain. I've never in my life. Maybe you can stick a 12 millimeter in that. When I get it off, I'll be able to see exactly what it is, but I didn't see any of this stuff in my manual it said to take this off with. That's what's so crazy. It's a 2018, this is. Anyways, let's see if I can even get any more room on it now. I'm moving it all right now. It's really stuck. There we go. Yeah, something holding that back of that on somehow. I don't have no idea. The heck? I'm gonna have to look. Why we look that up? Let's see what I can see what the heck that is. Yeah, there's a 12 millimeter bolt right there. Actually, can you see that? I believe it's a 12 millimeter. Should be able to undo that. And it should all it is though, I think, is just holding on that bracket. Let me see real quick what that is. Bracket that goes down. I think it's a 12 millimeter right there. And I think it's one probably on both sides of what I'm thinking. It goes down to the bottom of that guy. Unfortunately, it does. Let me see if I can flex it. Yeah, it's definitely getting held on back there. So I got to be very careful to do that.
I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and see life do what you want. So fight and die.
This is what separates real diagnostics from guesswork. Every step matters. Taking you through it piece by piece so you can see exactly what it takes to get this 3.3 liter GDI back on the road. Don't forget, I live stream these jobs too, so hit subscribe and catch the next one live.
I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and see life do what you want.
Let's see if that's it. And really easy, we'll take a quick peek back there and see what we got. All right, let's see what we got here. I'll show you what was holding it in 1 second. That was kind of crazy, wasn't it? See if I can get the whole thing off now. Something's still on this side. You can tell. Really gently, we'll lay it on this side, real gentle. And see what we got happening now with it. Let's see back here. There's a hose back here is all. There's a stupid hose holding on to it. And there's a line. They can be able to undo that line pretty easy. We'll tilt that to the side. Over here like this, is all. Get this stuff out of the way. And that's why I took the battery out by hole. So, show you what I'm talking about. Move this over to the side all the way. Just like this. And lay it over here. Voila. That's all you gotta do. Make sure I didn't do any damage to the bottom of that guy when I came off. It looked actually really good. I got really lucky. You can tell. So I'm gonna need to get new gaskets. But yeah, that one bolt was all that was holding it. So right now I don't even gotta take the throttle off because of how I turn that. Very careful not to stretch on that too hard, like I said. See right here, check it out. Okay. That is everything in here. Right here, we finally got access to getting access to the injectors. They're up underneath here, I believe so. Back up underneath this guy. We still got more to go. Now you can access all these. That's going to be kind of tight there to get to, as you can see. Right there. Shouldn't be kind of not fun. Yeah, but just that one stupid little thing right there holding on to it. You can see there was a clip underneath. I was right about that. And that wasn't what was holding on to it. 112mm bolt that goes into there, which I am going to put back in there. Remember I was telling you, always put them back. Put it back in here for now so we don't lose it. Make sure it goes in tight. You don't drop it down the hole, okay? Put it on the actual look mode. Points at the tip of the thing. Here, 1 second. Right there goes one. Check out this valve here. That thing's pretty dirty, ain't she? That's the GDI valve for you. I'll tell you that right now. Right here, we'll check out this guy if we can.
Okay, so with the intake manifold off and moved to the side, we can take a look down here at the valves. These are some terribly dirty valves. This is pretty common on these 3.3 liter GDI engines. In fact, almost all GDI engines. I highly recommend doing a valve cleaning while you're in here. You know, at this point, there's so much work to do. It's just hard to, talk to the customer to see what they want to do. Now, if you look closely, you can clearly see which one the injectors were stuck open on. And I'm not quite sure why this happens, but you can see how dirty that other valve was. Now, and you can see how dirty this one is. If you actually look, the one that looks really clean is where the fuel has been dumping down that cylinder. So what was actually going on in this vehicle that I've now confirmed through this repair process from start to finish is, if you look right here on this motor, it goes across in the front. 2, 4, 6 is the front 3 cylinders, and 1, 3, 5 are the rear. She had a problem with 4 and 6 in particular. Now 4 had been stuck open for a very long time, so that valve was just, beautifully cleaned from all the gas dumping down the engine. Now, it wasn't until cylinder 6 started having an issue until she actually noticed there was a problem. So that really made it so it's just undrivable at that point. So when you're doing this repair, I highly recommend doing everything while you're in there. Don't try to cut corners. Go ahead, replace all your injectors. If not, you're going to be going back in. By the way, I'll let you know how these aftermarket injectors held up. Stay tuned.
And literally, I'm going to put these back on. Be very, very, very careful while you're doing this. Take note of this. Very careful. Don't drop anything down the holes. You're going to be in big trouble if you do. Big trouble. So what I'm going to do is this right here. So I'm going to put these back in here as we can. These actually go through. If I can see where they hook into, I'll put them back in there. Right here. You go in here. So go like this. You want coming off anyway, right? Don't drop these down that hole like I was saying. Keep these out of your way. Be very careful with them. And there should be 2 other little tiny ones in here. So these can stay in here for now. I'm going to drop them there down the hole. I'm just going to wait to get these off of here before I put anything back in there. I'm going to cover up these holes. Probably all I'm going to do for tonight. Like I said, it's been a long day and a long night, honestly. I'm going to put this back over here. It's a battery holder. Well, I took the batteries out and the intake box out, in case you were wondering. And that is why. So, it is what it is. So, man, this, tell you what. The, what's it called? DJ Osmos is hanging tough over here. This thing's been running for what? Dang on, 10% battery left. It's been running for an hour and a half. This thing is rocking it out. It's got to give you about everything I did. So quick breakdown of what I did. Pull this fuse out. Get the fuel out of the vehicle. Start the engine 3 times. Ran it dry. Make sure you drain your coolant. A lot of people on YouTube don't drain the coolant. Very bad. Now, when I go back in here and do this, I'm going to pull these off next. I'm going to take these out of here next. You have to replace all 6 of these bolts, okay? You also have to replace the fuel rails. High pressure fuel rail. This must be replaced. Do not shorten. Do not cheat this step here. This must be replaced. Right here. This goes to your high pressure fuel rail. Right up here. See it? You got to replace that. That's the part to it. 6 injectors. I got the kits just in case I got to rebuild. I don't know if I need to. You also need this specialty kit. This is what the kit is if you're doing this job. 34720. What it looks like. It's a real funny way to do it, but you shouldn't need it. You should come with everything on there that you need. I'm hoping. They're really hard to do, so if you can get them pre-bought, that's perfect. That back one was a 14 millimeter, so might have used a 15, but it's definitely a 14. I can tell you that now. So, yeah, did not have to remove the high pressure fuel pump. May not even have to replace this. I do not know. But I do know I got to take this bolt off here to release this here. Get this out of my way. I may not even have to damage it. We'll see. This got to come off. But this is coming up out of here, right? So we're going to take this off next, okay? Which is 10 millimeter. Take everything else has been here. Here we go. Very careful, don't fall in there. Now we'll get this on out next. Get this out the way. If you bend this, if you do anything with this, if you unhook this in any way, you must replace it. Don't forget that. Maybe needs to be replaced anyway. I have one. Probably gonna have to unhook it anyway. On the other side, you can tell just how crappy it is. I don't even know why it's high pressure because that thing's barely even holding on there. It's holding on for dear life. So you can't crimp it. You can't do nothing with it. There's not much room, so you may have to actually bend on it to get it out of there. If you do, you gotta replace it. Either way, see if I can pop this up. I'm gonna go ahead and try to put this back in here for now so I don't lose it. You don't want to drop it down the hole either, but you know what I mean. Right now, we can stick it right back in here. Be very careful when you're doing this. Do not let this fall out of your hand down this hole. You are really screwed. Trust me. There we go. You add it back in. Cool. Now, probably don't even take that chance. Just get it off the car and do it off the car. I got a magnet and a prayer if it drops. But anyway, that's on there good. Now, the problem is you got to get this loose. Very, very gentle with that. Maybe you can undo it here. I probably would recommend doing that there. Gonna try to take that clip off. Just undo it right here. A little easier to get to probably. Look right here. Just like that, and that way you can kind of finagle that just enough, okay? And you shouldn't have to release that pump rail at all. Show you what I mean here. Same way with this guy here. You see that? And go ahead and get this the heck out of the way so you don't drop anything down your holes. Same way here. We're gonna put this guy back for the time being. It's okay to put it back. Do not drop it down the hole. How much I can, express that to you guys. See how it's just don't want to go in. You might as well get it on out of here and clear this out of the way. I'm going to get this off right now, but I am going to stick something down in these holes before I continue anything else. I just know I'm one hair away from dropping something down the damn hole, and that would be a wrap if I did that. It really would be a wrap. So what's so crazy is look over here. I didn't take any bolts off on the side. There was nothing holding it in. Looks like somebody might have worked on this before. I don't know what the heck is going on. There was actually nothing on this side holding this on. Maybe it's supposed to be, but I swear there's nothing back here that I can see. I didn't break anything. Usually maybe they have two. You can see that one. Maybe there's one over here. I don't know. Maybe there's some here. Her car did not have these, so these are just empty bolt holes. I don't get it, but I will say this. Maybe there is something there. Either way. This, put it over here. Don't forget where it went to. Leave that there. Right here. Now, pull these off next. And she's come right on up in there, up and at them. Pretty good. And you can actually, I think, remove this if you need to. Give yourself some more room. But like I said, before I do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and do what? I was telling you earlier. I'm going to cover these holes because I know something's just going to go flying down there any second. I just can promise you it always happens when you least expect it. It really does. So I got some clean towels right here that are clean. We'll stuff them up down that hole for now. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, H6, my bad, H6. That's what it is. Can y'all see that? H6. H6 is right in here. That's what you use. Crack that off.
Something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right.
Just like that. Check it out. All in one. All in one, baby. There's the last bolt too, by the way. Just like this one. There's the whole piece out. That's how you do that one. So, looking good. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There are all 8 bolts. Here. H6s came out of there, right here. Y'all see that? All came out, perfectly done. Now we'll remove the little diaper pad. I call it the diaper pad. Right here are my fuel injectors. Yeehaw, look at that guy go. Now, can you see? A little bit of fuzz in there. I'm okay with that. We'll get that out of there. And so what we're gonna do next is this. We gotta cover these holes immediately. Don't want things to get down in here. You can actually see really good in here now. All these are wide open for anything to fall in that can fall. So, put this over here for now. And we'll get us over here too. And we'll right away, we'll plug these up. But you can see something's already fallen down to that one. That's what the piece of fog, but I don't want it in there. We'll get it on up out of there. Right on now. Right on now. Get it up out of there. See a little bit of fuzz went in the hole? We just throw them off of there. We don't want it up in there. Once it fell off the diaper when I pulled it out. That's all. And we're looking pretty good other than that. The burnt valves over. That is not cool. Get this little leave off. Leaves out of here. It's alright. And so next we're going to make sure nothing's in there. And then we're going to put a rag in each one of these holes. Very good. Like so. We'll stuff it with each one of these rags that were in here. That way we can immediately stuff these in there like that. And we'll call this a day here. Now, not too bad, huh? Not too bad. So we'll plug them up like so. Kind of reminds me of that Volkswagen when I worked on that piece of crap too. It took forever, but I got it done. Yeah, it's just another day in the neighborhood is all. There we go here. There we go here. We'll plug them all up. Here we go with the nice.
Okay, so right here is a very extremely important step. As you can see, I'm taking rags and stuffing everything inside of the actual cylinders. You do not want to drop something down here. I'm going to now take it and blow it off, but don't ever leave those exposed. If metal or anything falls down in there, you can have serious issues. So make sure you do that. Be smart. We made a lot of progress, and now we're getting down here to the exciting part. This is when I'm getting everything prepped, and we're going to actually be able to get right down there into these injectors. So this should be fun. Right here, going over where all the fuel lines are at, the hook to the injectors. This is your intake manifold, top and bottom. These are both the gaskets you need. What I like to do is I like to keep all my bolts together, so you'll see me go over here and I'll put each bolt back in its home. Makes it much easier later when you're putting back together the vehicle. You kind of know where stuff's at. So I kind of just go over everything, put it back where it needs to be at, kind of keep stuff organized. So right here are your fuel rails you're looking at for the 3.3 liter GDI. This is for all the way up 2012 to 18. Covers any Kia with this engine and any Hyundai. So this has really been a chore, I'll tell you that. Make sure you replace these gaskets here. You see, they're on the bottom. You have 3 rings, and that top is actually a connectable set. That's the top of where your plenum would be at, essentially. So now with all of this off, you can see I'm putting all my bolts that hold everything secure back down. These are all 10mm bolts, and I'm just putting them all placed back so we don't have any confusion later, since there are so many different little clips and bolts on this vehicle. It's easier to have everything back in its home. Yeah, and pay attention closely here too. I don't know if you can see, sometimes when these come out, the sleeve wants to come out with them, so make sure you see which bolts have the issue.
Anyway, these clips have to be replaced.
Sleeve have to
These
come
fuel
out.
clips have to be done. Okay, you have to replace these bolts. You have to. No questions asked. And they're draining the coolant because you have coolant passages right here. If you don't watch out, you have coolant getting to your engine. Make sure you always drain those. And if you don't have to unhook these, then you don't have to replace the high pressure fuel line. But you have to replace this one anyway. You have one line here and one line here that you have to replace, especially if you unhook it. You have to replace it. This you probably don't have to. This is the one I was thinking about. I'll have this one over there. This is what that one is. Everyone's here. Yeah, they have a crushed type of fitting. It must be replaced, okay? Right here is everything there. Yep, and we'll be doing this tomorrow. So, anyways, hope y'all had fun.
All right. quick update. So there is some difficulty locating the bolts and fuel rails and clamps. Now I do have a workaround.
Like I said, I just gently move this over. It's okay, just kind of land there, make sure nothing's getting pinched or broken on or pulled on. That's okay sitting there, you're not hurting anything. You know, real gentle, make sure you got everything, nothing getting pinched crazy. Kind of check everything out, which we did. Nothing's getting broke or bent, it's fine right there. And then, like I said, everything else, we get ramping this up tomorrow. Plug back on a zillion clips and connectors. And remember, I have one of these stupid clips here. Push up, and it helps get it out. These are, I guess, significant clips. All this has to go back together, which is kind of crazy, honestly. It has got to be a lot to that. I don't need to unplug anymore because I have plenty of room to pull it back. You don't got to undo the high pressure fuel pump, none of that. Right to the injectors, boom, get it done. So I did the fuel pump fuse, leave that laying there, and that's a wrap.
Here's where most quick videos cut away, but I'm showing you the actual injector seal installation using the proper specialty tool. This is the difference between a temporary patch and a professional repair. If this helps you out, please give it a share so other people can find the video. All right. All right. I'm not sure if you can see me right here, what I'm doing, but I did have an issue where I actually damaged one of the combustion seals when I was putting it back on, trying to get it into the rail, and actually did not have it quite seated properly, so I had to take it back out, remove it, and then I had to clip the old ones off and actually use the kit I have here. So make sure you get yourself probably 6 or 7 combustion seals to have on hand. You probably will have some issues, especially if you're new to this. During this part here, you can see I'm actually have to cut it loose with these clippers, and it essentially is what you're supposed to do. It tells you on the program. Identifix, big shout out to those guys, was a huge help. But yeah, you cut it free, then you have to reseat everything, put the rings back on. But I was able to get them back on, get it fixed, and as you see at the end of this video, everything worked perfectly. Yep, that's what I'm having to do here. I had to redo it, so have yourself some extra seals on hand. Very important. If you don't have it, you're going to be out of luck. right, so right here, you can see I've been fighting with these combustion seals. Each one has 2 that must be firmly pressed down. I'm also placing back on the new clamps for the fuel rail, and I was actually able to reuse these bolts. I was able to recut them and clean out the holes very good. That way you could torque them down to spec appropriately. Here you can see me really fighting to get this back off of here. This was really a tough time to do this, to get it off. And this thing right here just comes loose, and I smack my camera right.
This one should
right
be ready to rock.
there.
All right, let's see if I can get it in this time. Let's see if I can get it on in there. Let's try one more time for all the marbles. And let's give it a good shot, y'all. Hey, that's for all the marbles, guys. Come on, let's go in the hole. You darn thing. Let's see. I'm gonna show you where I'm at here in a minute. Like I said, I can't stop what I'm doing to do anything else but get this in the hole for the time being. That is all I can do at the moment. Hopefully it goes in. Wish me luck. I don't got many more chances at this. I'm about to get quit on this job. I am going to be a quitter in a second. Oh, I promise you that. This is so annoying. It is just not letting me happen. It's not letting me happen. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. We are lined up just about. Just about. Now we get the bolts in out of the hole. That is pretty cool. I think I can work with that. I think I got it. Woohoo. Look at that. And now we got to get all this stuff back on, but at least we get the bolts back in. But what I did with these bolts is what I want to show you is I marked them, right? Because I was able to recut them, clean them, make sure my tap and die set were good to go. So, of course, we're going to do it like this. We're going to go with 2, which is going to be the one over here, right here, up in the front is going to be number 2. This guy right here. And we're going to go ahead and start with him. Like I said, but basically like having new bolts. Since they're almost impossible to get these guys, it's a lot easier just to do it this way. And, yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I actually asked about this to be exact, and yeah. Make sure you haven't hit that like just for the struggle. If you see the struggle getting real, I want to see y'all smash that like for me. Okay, thanks. And subscribe too. See more great feats of the master mechanic world. Don't you try it over here. Don't you try to get funny on me. Don't you try to get funny on me. Don't you even try it. Everything was going perfect with this earlier. Don't you even try this with these bolts. It was working great. You ain't gonna have no issues. I know that today. And yeah, there we're going now. We're going by hand now. There we go. I recut everything. This bolt earlier was giving me a little bit of trouble, but not too much anything bad. Kind of straighten it out a little bit. And let's see. I'm gonna back it up some with this guy. Is all. Back it up here. And we'll move it back the other way now. Alright, and what we're going to do is make sure we're not actually stripping anything. We're going to tighten these down by our hands, right? Make sure we're good to go. That's all. We should be fine with it. We can get it pretty tight by hand. We know these bolts are perfect, right? Not wrong with them. They're not stretched. They're perfectly good because I actually checked them. I cleaned these holes out and in carbon deposits earlier, and you can see these should be flush. This was very difficult to do. I'm hoping this does not leak. Only one way to find out, right? And that is to put it to the test. So, if it does leak, guess what? I got 7 more seals. Another day worth of hell is all. But, you know, I don't mind dealing with that. Anything to get this over with at this point today. Either way, now we can start snugging them up gently. And, yeah, that'll be that. So I'm going to go real gentle with it. Real gentle with it is all. And, I still got to get the lines on and everything, too. So, like I said, nothing crazy at the moment. We're just going to get the haze kind of snugged in. It's going to kind of let you know when it's getting tight. It's just how it is. Like so. Like I said, the way I cleaned these out, these are basically like new bolts. Alright, it's pretty good, huh? Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Make sure all the clips are on, which they are. Nothing's getting pinched down there. And make sure everything is clear, not getting pinched. This clip is out. You see that? Push it back in there. That's all. Nice and tight. Snugged up. Alright, looking good. Make sure all these are snug. Just like that, and make sure this is on there, which it is. These had all these stupid little twist ties on it earlier. I was fighting this guy with his dull razor blade trying to get all these things to pop loose. It was crazy. So, we're blowing through this stuff here. And anybody can tell me what the bad injector is? Alright, look at the bottom of this. I can show you too. I think that's it right there. It doesn't have anything on the bottom. It's just completely clean. Anyway, I can show you right here the difference in the actual valve. Look at this guy, how clean this valve is right here. Check out the dirt on this thing. It's crazy. Look at that one. Look at this one valve right here. It is so clean. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. See that? See it right there? Look how clean the valve is. That's because that's dumping gas down into it. It's so crazy. And look at this guy beside it. It's like a complete mud pit. A disastrous mess. You can tell with the bad injector was that, can't you? All right, I'm gonna put it back in there. I want to drop anything in the hole. I finished snugging this up and getting the high pressure lines and cleaned them very well too. Was able to reuse those, I believe. That's one of my mini injectors if I need to use it. This is the kit. Oh yeah, it's just so easy. This and that, but this is made for Ford. That's clearly why it doesn't work. Anyway, I got two of them. Neither of them really work great, but it is what it is. So that is what it is, and that's going to be what it is. All right, cool. All right, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and snug them down the best I can. And get about to get rocking down the road. And just like that, and just like this, make sure everything's kind of snug. Like I said, I'm not torquing them right this second, because I still got to put these lines on. Who knows, I could have forgot something. I don't even know at this point. Either way, just make sure they're snug, and we'll get the lines, and I'll show you how crazy these lines were to get on there. They really were not fun either. Just like that. All right, so they're on there. There are the new injectors. Ready? Yeah, all on there, ready to go. Now we just got to test them and see if they hold, and hopefully they will. Hopefully I didn't mess the seals up getting them in there. It was kind of a fight, but you know, you never know. Could be good. I think they're good, honestly. Woo, and we got to put these back on here. I took all that off. I'll show you how I did that, honestly. That was kind of crazy. Let me get this up. This is one of my fuel injector tools. We've kind of just mixed the kits all up now. Who really cares? Who gives a crap? Anyway, these are done, and these can go back on right here. As you can see,
so right here, once again, 10 times speed, I'm installing the high pressure fuel pump rail. You simply have to route it up underneath the front spark plug injector harness. What you're going to do is you're going to take a 17mm wrench socket to help secure down all the bolts and gently pull upward as you snug them up. This helps to make a proper seal. If you do this right, they should seal nicely. Make sure to replace these hoses. If you crack them loose, Hyundai requires you to replace them. Now, if they look okay and you think the O-rings are going to hold up, you possibly can reuse them, but that is at your discretion. Now we're almost wrapped up, but this is the part you don't want to miss, the final live data and test drive to see if this actually worked out, how everything did. Actually going to give you 2 days worth of live data, one done immediately after, then one done a couple of days later, still holding as you would expect. Anyway, stick around, you'll see the proof before this video ends. All right. All right, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. I know I have. It's time to fire it up. Make sure we have no fuel leaks, no raw gas smell, live data's clean, misfires are gone. Let's bring it home. Looking at the live data, every fuel injector on this 3.3 liter GDI engine is back within spec, no misfires, balanced trims, and no raw fuel smell. This repair applies across multiple models, including the Hyundai Santa Fe, Kia Sorento, Kia Cadenza, Kia Sedona, and even the Hyundai Azera, all running with the same 3.3 liter GDI platform. Whether it's a family SUV or a fleet vehicle, fixing injector performance means better fuel economy, cleaner emissions, and protection for your catalytic converters. These are critical topics, not just for drivers, but for industries like auto insurance, fuel system cleaners, OEM parts suppliers, and extended warranty companies that want vehicle running longer with fewer
let y'all
breakdowns.
see where we're at. Everything looks perfect though. I mean, really perfect. Really does. I'll post this video here soon. Getting down to where we'll get to the fuel here coming up and the misfires. So check them out. The auto control is probably still a little off. Hasn't relearned yet. I still got a test drive it. The only thing I haven't done. All right, so it's a little bit off. It just, you know, all that stuff. Look at that. That's perfect. Perfect. I mean, perfect. Pure trim, fuel trim, it's perfect. That is all perfect. All around zero. Look at that injector. Look at these beautiful parts here coming up. This is the part I like to see right here. Anyway. Coming up right here, look at the misfire. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. All across the board, we have 0 values. That means everything is sealed and doing like it should do. Said I did pull one off and I had to redo the crush gasket, whatever you call it, the crush thingy on there. I know misfires. Let me show you where right here. Look at this, it's reading beautifully. I'll see that, it's all 6 injectors. Now look, I'm gonna let off the gas, watch it. I mean, that right there tells you I got it right, you know. That is across the board. And the injector right here, misfires across the board. 0. I think if we would leak in a little bit of gas and it had a problem, we'd definitely be misfiring, right? Let's check the injectors out, same way. Just did that. Right here, direct injection. Yeah, looking good though. Like I said, I've got nothing going on that makes me think something's wrong. So maybe I got it all the way. I don't know. Trouble codes one more time. See if you can got any. Nope. Read codes again. It's looking good. I don't smell gas. I don't think.
So this wraps up another full start to finish diagnostic and repair with the TS Mobile Mechanic. From confirming injector failure with live data to removing the intake manifold, reseating combustion sealed with the special tools, and verifying the final repair on the road. You've seen the entire journey. This applies to Hyundai and Kia vehicles, once again, across the board, with the 3.3 liter GDI engine. So whether it's a Santa Fe, Sorento, Sedona, or a Cadenza, the process is the same. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and follow along for more in-depth diagnostic to repair stories. These are the real world fixes advertisers in automotive parts, insurance, extended warranties, and fuel system technology want you to see, and the stories drivers need to hear. And don't forget, if you like watching 100% live streamed auto repairs with some edited highlights along the way, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss the next fix or the next tick.
You know what? Fuel injector was bad.
Peace.
Running beautiful now. Purring like a kid. Do need some gas, but we got this situated for the most part. Seeing, smell any gas, see any gas leak. Looking nice. So it looks like I got it. Damn, that was a hell of a job. I'll say that. Good news is, I brought one back for a swap out vehicle and see how she does. Got a little bit more test drive to do. I'll keep you posted. Right. Relax. See how she got it. Purrs like a kitten, like she should. Well, let's see. That stoplight. Stop. Let's see. And live data read beautiful earlier. Combustion seals on those rings for the fuel injection system. Had to be replaced with new fuel injectors. But sizing those rings is something else, I'll tell you right now. Never again. It wasn't too bad once I figured it out, but I've never done one of these, and that was pretty, I mean, level 1 to 10, let's say 10 being the most difficult, that was probably a 8.5, just to get everything to do right, and take off half the car and plug back in 50 plugs. It wasn't as bad as that BMW starter, probably, actually way worse. BMW starter, just a bunch of clips, they're all matched up. This Hyundai really, you know, put it to the next level. We're sitting here idling. Lost round of gas. This thing is burning like a kitten right now. Anyways, this many miles fuel injector failed on here. That's unbelievable. I did 100,000 miles. This is unreal. You know, you got a 100,000 mile warranty. You're out of luck, right? Anyways, all right.